Amy, what are we doing here today?
We're gonna paint. We're gonna paint a magical tree.
Ooh.
It's over there.
Where?
Right there.
Yay, time to paint. Cool.
Painting small scenes or landscapes in watercolor is one of the most powerful, fun, and easy ways to connect to place. In this video, I'm going to share some of my process. First, I start with the basic outlines and am very intentional about framing my subject.
So I started off with this ink, gray ink, and now I'm going to go to watercolor. So this is kind of a new one of these Pentel Aquash water brushes. When they're new, the water runs out a little bit faster. So I have multiples of these in my kit, and it's really important to mark them so that you know which one has the water running out of it fastest, because I'm doing a very small landscape and it was just putting out way too much water for my needs. So I'm going to put it back, and see, this is the one that I've had for the longest. I have tape on it. This one runs really slow, too slow, but I also have this in between one, so I'm going to switch to that one for the rest of this Landscapitos. Having the really wet one is good for skies and stuff like that, or for bigger paintings. So starting off with the sky and lighter values, now I'm going to start building up the values darker, and I'm trying to only spend like 10 minutes on this one. So I got to push those values fast and shoot for about like 3 values. The lightest value, a medium value, and a dark value. And now I gotta match the color of that tree, and you can see that that new foliage on that deciduous oak tree has sort of a warm color, and since that tree is my main interesting subject matter, I'm gonna spend a little bit of energy trying to get a good color match on that. Water brush is still pretty wet, but I'm using this towel to sort of dab a little bit. With these water brushes, it's harder to use the dry brush to suck moisture back up like you can with a normal watercolor brush. So that is one downside of these. Now, again, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna try to mix that color. So I'm gonna get a little bit of pink, a little bit of quinacridone pink in here, and a little bit of, I think I'm gonna use quinacridone gold for the orangish color, and I think that will be, we'll try that. So I'm gonna be careful that the sky is dry, and this is a little bit challenging because this color mixed with blue might not be great, and I'm gonna try not to have any other warm colors in here, and hopefully that will make this stand out even more. And those are the kind of choices that you can make with a painting. So I've got a little bit of color down there. You can see there. I'm gonna add a little bit of orange for a slight wet on wet effect. So I'm gonna use the quinacridone gold for that toned orangish color right on the edge, because the edge is where it's most vibrant. A little bit more, and this is something you could easily overdo this, and I think I need to build up the values on my grass a little bit more. Grass is a little bit too pale. It's about the same color as the sky still. That's something I've been noticing with my paintings I need to work on a little bit. The sky should be the lightest value in your entire painting. So I'm gonna mix some more tone colors into my grass as well, so it's slightly less saturated. And the closer bit of grass, if anything, should be the most saturated and the darkest on the furthest bit of grass. If I had more time, I would put more energy into that to create a sense of the receding ground, the atmospheric perspective. But I think for my purposes today, this should be good. Now, the last thing I'm gonna do is add a little bit more saturated green right into the foreground. Just drop it in there, wet on wet. And I might go back in once this is dry to add add the darkness of the branches, because the branches should be the darkest part of this painting. So you can see it's still wet, but you can see I did get some interesting wet on wet there with the foliage, which is the focal point of this painting, and I'll come back. I lost a little bit of the overall shape of the tree, I would say. I lost a little bit of that wave shape that it has in my painting, but I think I captured the essence of sort of the newly emerging leaves and these sort of foreground elements. And for a 10-minute or less drawing, I think I'm happy with that. So I'm over here making little videos on how to paint landscapitos like that and in the shade, and Amy's up there under the tree still painting under the tree. Definitely check out her content. She's doing really cool paintings, and she's about to bicycle across the US doing paintings along the way.
If you learned something out of this episode of the Nature Journal Show, thumbs up and comment something down below. And if you're curious how I made a painting 3 times bigger in the same 10 minutes, you might consider checking out my Patreon, where I share videos such as that one that I don't always post on YouTube. And if you can't wait all the way until next week for the next episode of the show, check out these 2 videos here.